Okay, so you heard what was going on.
Look at your face.
Okay.
YouTube, let me tell y'all. It may look like I'm an innocent church girl, but
Isn't it pretty? This is a pretty color.
there are,
What's
I don't want to call them demons.
No, lip polish, mocha frost.
Two sides to everybody.
Yes. Okay, I go to church. The reason why I stay in church is because I've seen their side of me. I can get angry. I can slip when friends pressure you a little too much.
Right.
And you know, sometimes if you are not prayed up at all times, which I used to be like, well, when my grandma passed away, I was like, ugh.
The one that raised you?
Yes, the one who raised me. I was like, I don't feel like going to church. Especially, I didn't want to come back to this church because everybody knew me. They know her. And I was like, that's too much to deal with on a daily basis. So, since we moved to Hesperia, you know, I stopped coming to church. Start getting into the worldly demons.
Why not just do drugs? I mean, if that works for your mom to keep her, you know, she don't want to deal with it. Then,
like certain things you just know.
I mean, if that's what you know and that's what you see, then why not?
No, I could never do drugs because I would never want to do or put any strain on anybody like my mother did me. I don't want to like blame her because you know it says to forgive. So I don't want to say I forgave, but I'm in the process of forgiving.
Okay.
That's how you do it. You have to continue to
Forgive.
forgive.
What brought you back to the church when you were out there? And I know you were having fun.
Oh
And,
my goodness.
Fun.
isn't it? Yeah.
I believe my grandmother came to me. Or maybe it was just me thinking of her, how she would react to certain things I did.
Okay.
And she slapped some sense into me, not literally, but you know, she was
Right.
like, "This ain't for you. What are you doing?" Because I was
I raised
sitting in
you
the
better
room,
than that.
you know, sitting in the room with the people, they drinking and everything, and I'm like, "Well, why I never tried it? Well, I gotta be a good girl all the time."
Oh.
So I'm like, "Well, let me do it." So I grabbed the cup, and before I can do it, it was like, "This ain't you." I'm looking around, all these girls, these girls are like, this is not what I'm supposed to be. I'm not these kind of people. So I was just like, okay, I got to get out of it. So I was like, Sunday, let's go.
So, do you have any advice for any, let's say, there's some young, any kind of colored girls, but I'm thinking African American girls that might go through some of what you've gone through. You're talking about gangs and alcohol that's being offered to you, and mother being on drugs, and then the grandmother that raised you passed away. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot for anybody. I mean, you see stars like, let's say, Britney Spears or anybody who are so blessed, who
fall into it.
who've fallen and have way less to worry about. I mean, parents are doing fine, mom's doing fine.
I feel sorry for her. Like I really do.
But do you have any advice for anybody else?
I think
that you could do it, or?
no. Okay.
Done with the makeup.
The harder
Or what
you
got
try,
you
the harder you try to do something good, of course, the devil is going to be there trying to persuade you to do something easier, which is, of course, the wrong thing. But just know in your heart who you are and say,
So
well,
what you have to do, you have to know who you are.
well, I don't think that I want to have a baby right now and have unprotected sex and stuff like that, because
Well, how
I'm
do you
not
know
ready.
that? Where you get that from? Because I grew up in church and that subject never came up. You know, don't be like that. Don't be like so and so who's pregnant. But it was never taught, or it never came up. You just didn't talk about it, and I guess you just supposed to learn on.
Actually, that's what happened to
And
me.
parents don't talk about it, church don't
Yeah.
talk about it. You
Oh,
just stay away.
So just because they don't talk about it, they think that you won't actually run into anything like that.
And still, at my age now, I still have that struggle. Like, well, who do you talk to, or where
That's
do you
what
go?
I-
You can't go to church.
That's what I like about this
Can't go
church.
to
Like
parents.
we have so many different age groups, and like if you just sit around them and like really, you know, get to know them, you learn certain things from like certain people. Like from somebody in the elderly age group, the older women, you learn how to be patient, how to listen, because that was a big thing. You have to listen.
And talk to people when something is on your mind, something is
So you have an
wrong.
open forum here, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the group that's like right above us, you learn their consequences. They tell you like, okay, when I did this is what happened. And you think, well, I don't want that to happen to me. So you really learn from other people.
Well, don't you think that there's trials and tribulations that go on in church too? Like there's some cute guys,
Yes.
or when you go choirs meet each other.
Everywhere you go.
Maybe they're not where you are
let me
in the
testify.
Lord, kind of a thing.
Let me testify real quick.
Testify. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Well, when I was in my worldly days, when I hit that young poppin' 16 and I developed the body with the, oh, yes.
Oh, the ooh-wee.
There was this one boy in here, her son. I thought he
Oh.
was the hottest thing in the world. Yes, I did. And he started noticing me, and I was like, oh yes, this is for me. And then I was like, oh no, there are responsibilities that come with this body. And that's when I started talking to my aunties, like,
So you always had an open forum to just talk.
yes, that's like one thing they've never like anybody in church. It looks like everybody in church would be like all over to talk. But if you really ask a person something, they'll give you an opinion because they don't want you to go through hardship. They don't want you to make mistakes. So that's what I like about my church.
Well, you know what, Miss Pink, you got a good group here. I can't.
You're glad you came.
They're teaching me something, so that's awesome.
You know,
We got girls
to
at the
be
church
so
who
young,
they
they can
do
tell you
it.
some stories about their lives.
I'm
They
hearing.
shared some.
I can't
They
even
shared
imagine.
some, but they could go deeper than that.
Man, this is only
You don't want to
scraping the
YouTube
tip
don't
of
need
the
us.
surface.
YouTube don't need us.
Well, you know what? I think YouTube do.
They got us.
Now I do a lot of fun videos and it's fun, but I never, I don't get a chance to get something that's deep.
Another thing that I'm just gonna say this because
Go ahead,
it's
say
gonna be on YouTube. The one thing that kept me with that whole virginity thing was when we took this. My grandmother, God, made us take sexual development.
Oh
I died.
my God.
And where?
Sexual development classes.
Your grandmother was very advanced. Very advanced because
honey, she didn't play.
people.
I died when she said these words to me.
Well, you
I
better
said,
fly.
"You wanted me to do what?" I'm thinking, grandmother, old lady sits in the chair, rocks,
You feel me?
popping cookies.
You feel me? Baking
No.
cookies. for
Our
the-
grandmother
for the-
was 54 young, still thinking she could pop it, drop it to the floor,
Not think. Not think. Not
beat
think.
you when you do wrong.
Okay.
I love this old lady.
An old lady at 54.
Okay.
Because
And
She
we
had
a
her
class
old people
here. We had a
days.
class here about sexual development. We
Did you really?
Oh,
in
yeah.
this church.
Yep,
yes, we
the
did.
pastor.
yo,
we did.
that is something that
The
We
pastor.
brought it home.
That is
We brought
good
it
because-
here.
No,
parents are.
it's a good thing, but I was like, the pastor is giving us classes on these things.
Hi.
All right.
Oh, y'all got lotion in here?
Okay.
No.
All right, let's go.
Stay ashy. No. Okay. Well, thank you very much, and we're getting ready to go. So we're out of our dressing room. Ex-member.
Oh yeah, she used to be a dancer.
She mad now.
Why you ex-member?
Because I started going to another church, but I want to start dancing again, so I believe I'm gonna have to start.
Well, this is a good group.
I know it's a good group, but I want to come back and dance with them.
All right.
I do.
Over and out.
Yeah.